Welcome to the Civil Engineering Writing Project. Our goal is to guide you through effective writing techniques for civil engineering practice. This webcast is on Language Unit 8, Professional Emails. Reading, writing, and sending emails has become a daily activity in the workplace, but some people don't realize emails are as important as any other kind of professional writing. Even if you are currently a student, it is important to practice writing professional emails for activities related to your future profession, including course projects. On the one hand, emails have a lot of benefits. Emails can be sent to multiple recipients. They are a fast mode of transmission. They are a practical way to document verbal decisions, and they allow writers to plan and review their messages before transmitting them. However, not having effective skills for writing emails can bring you more problems than benefits. In the context of engineering workplaces, email messages are lasting business documents, not informal personal communication. This unit describes emails from the perspective of practicing engineers and provides specific tips for effective email use. The written unit of this version has 15 tips for professional emails. All of this advice comes directly from experienced engineering practitioners. You can find the language unit at cewriting.org. For the purpose of this webcast, we will cover 3 important tips that are at the heart of an effective email. We will show you examples of effective and ineffective emails written by students and novice engineers to exemplify these tips. When you are just starting your engineering career, whether as a student or in the workplace, it can be difficult to balance the level of professionalism and friendliness in your emails. Most newbies want to come across as friendly, and they err on the side of sounding unprofessional. But others are so formal, they sound like they are from the 16th century. Let's take a look at our first tip, sounding professional and friendly. The first example comes from an engineer in training writing to his supervisor. Example 1a is far too informal and vague for the workplace. It doesn't identify a professional subject, it doesn't include a salutation, it uses informal expressions like "here you go," and it doesn't provide enough context. An effective version of this email would clearly indicate the content of the email in the subject line, a friendly opening with the name of the recipient, specific context for the message, and it would avoid irrelevant information for a workplace like "I had a blast doing them." This line is irrelevant to the message, though the EIT might want to tell his supervisor how much he enjoyed the work when he sees her later face to face. The next example is of a student writing to their professor. Writing to an instructor is a professional activity. Example 2a is too unprofessional. The student does not identify the course, the date of the homework, or even her full name. These are all details the instructor needs. The opening, "Hey professor," is too impersonal. The professor will probably wonder if this email has even been sent to the right instructor. Comments like "I hope you enjoy it" and "I worked hard" are likely to aggravate the instructor, who expects the student to work hard on every assignment and they will have to spend their weekend time reading and grading the homework. In contrast, 2b provides the needed information and deletes the irrelevant details. The final sentence skillfully expresses appreciation while also reminding the professor that the student received permission to email her homework because she was ill. Here is another email message written by an EIT to a supervisor. Example 3a is ineffective because it is too formal. Expressions like "pursuant to," "at your disposal," and "require additional services" sound stilted in an email between people who see each other regularly. "Yours sincerely" is a closing for a traditional letter, not an email between people in the same office. Instead, 3b uses friendly yet professional language. It provides enough context, but omits irrelevant details like "pursuant to our discussion in your office." When addressing people you don't know or have met very recently, or emailing someone in a far superior position such as the head of a large organization, use the polite form title plus last name. For example, Mr. Smith, President Smith, or Professor Smith. You are less likely to cause any offense. And yes, we really have seen emails like 3A. Tip 2. Use standard written English, including full sentences. A busy recipient wants to be able to open the email, read it fast, and immediately know what it refers to, and reopen it 2 weeks later and still know what it means. You will make it easier on your reader by using standard written English and full sentences. As with your writing, be precise and concise with your wording. Look at these 2 examples. Phrases leave readers to fill in content. Therefore, the likelihood of misinterpretation is great. The recipient of example 1 will wonder, is this an exact amount or an estimate? And what do all those periods mean? Is the writer still thinking and this isn't the final answer? Non-standard punctuation makes interpretation harder because it has no established meaning. Line 2 makes clear that this is an estimate, but the recipient will likely now wonder, for 1 cubic yards of what? The effective example names the project and then expresses a complete idea by using a complete sentence. It explicitly states that this is an estimate of riprap. Even if the original question is copied below the email, the recipient will appreciate the full information in an easy-to-see place. Some organizations have a policy of stating the complete project name and location at the beginning of any email message. Other organizations do not have that policy but name the project in the message. Tip 3. Include enough context for readers. An email message needs to provide enough context so readers understand it immediately, even if they are working on 6 other projects or look back at the message 2 weeks later. Even an answer to a question should provide some context. At the same time, you don't want to over-describe the context and overload your readers. As usual, be concise. This original does not provide enough context and has a typo. All attachments need an accompanying email that tells what they are and provides basic context. And by the way, that includes attachments in job applications too. If you submit a cover letter and resume via email, include a message that specifies the job and introduces your attachments. The revision provides the basics. What meeting, when. It also tells recipients what to do with the information. Ask questions or comments if they have them. You can also put links within the email itself. In this example, there is a link for the document. Another way for emails to include context is by using the subject line. Names of projects, reference to a specific situation, and identification of attachments. Here is another student example. Again, this original does not provide enough context. In addition, the command to answer at your earliest convenience sounds pushy, even with please, and especially for an EIT writing to a superior, it could be considered offensive. The superior knows to answer the EIT's question. She doesn't need to be told what to do. The revision provides context and deletes the unnecessary command. If it is critical for the supervisor to get this information immediately, the EIT needs to call or speak face-to-face. Since emails are professional communication, all techniques for effective writing apply. Recipients generally expect to read emails very quickly and do not want to reread or stumble over complex writing and poor information flow. Proofread carefully. Look especially for missing or extra negatives such as not, which make your meaning the opposite of what you intend. In summary, emails are as important as any other kind of writing practice for the civil engineering profession. Effective emails balance sounding professional yet friendly. Effective emails use standard written English, including full sentences, and effective sentence structure. Emails include enough context so a busy reader understands what you are referring to. Even if you are currently a student, it is important to practice writing professional emails for activities related to your future profession. and you should be applying all the language tips from the Civil Engineering Writing Project in your emails, not just the tips reviewed here. For a more detailed description of the content covered in this webcast and other tips for writing improved reading, visit the Civil Engineering Writing Project website at cewriting.org. Practice is crucial for writing more effectively. You need to see many examples and try revisions for yourself. Thanks for watching and join us again for more writing lessons from the Civil Engineering Writing Project.